Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators, and we do not believe in cancel culture. Because once again, everybody, it's an orchestrated plan by the man. Viewer discretion is advised.
As Braden Marshall chopping down Duke Patterson here. Can he reach for it? Can he get it?
In the predicament he was just moments ago. He's in a bear hug. Can he escape? And he's starting to elbow. And another elbow. He's trying to chop the tree down. He gets out of it.
That will, that iron will
Scott.
is coming out right now. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh! Shannon!
What power
Mike
in
was
that
so
slam.
close. Oh, but he had to come break it up.
Great job there by Mike Mahan coming in to assist. But there's Johnny Ryder yet again.
Yeah, you gotta be kidding me. Look what your partner's doing.
You know, the ref has got his eyes on the wrong things right now. He's got to get back into this match. The momentum is turning in a negative way. Underhanded tactics right now being used by the territory.
Oh, wow.
Once again, another long way down. But once again, Duke Patterson is showing that will to survive.
And he's got to survive. That's his only option right now until he can make it to his corner and tag in the fresh Mike Mahan.
Johnny Ryder showing no respect.
And this is where the youth of the official Mullet Man right there, that's where it comes into play. Can he step up against the territory to gain control back in this matchup?
Snap suplex being tough. Oh. No!
And Duke has life in him.
Can't fall off, now they holler he'll turn. Thinking I'ma sell out, talking just to feel heard. I never listen, although they say it's strictly.
Welcome to QuickHits. I'm your host, Shannon Smith, aka Podcast Smitty. If you're new to the show, what's good? I'm Shannon. I've been a podcaster for over a year. This is my first solo podcast. But catch me here at 9 a.m. every Wednesday on Boom Broadcasting's YouTube channel to talk about some sports, a little bit of comic relief. We got analysis, hot takes, anything that you can ask for out of a podcast. But if you're one of my returning quick-hitting brothers and sisters, ouch! Welcome back. As you're enjoying your morning coffee with me, Podcast Smitty, make sure that you tune in at 12 o'clock for Sideline Savants with Wayne the Model Thomas, but he goes by the commissioner on that show because he's telling you your fantasy football do's and don'ts for the week. Later on, at 3 o'clock p.m., it was at 2, but it's now at 3 o'clock p.m., the Drop the Mic Wrestling Podcast with MD the Prez Michael Davis will be coming on, as Mike may have an intriguing interview. He may give you some analysis on wrestling, some wrestling news, and keep you up to date in the wrestling world on that show. At 6 o'clock, the Lombardi Party with Carson Williams will be coming on, as I'm sure Carson will have a lot to say after the convincing win that the Green Bay Packers had this weekend against the Tennessee Titans, Malik Willis's old team, who his new team ended up beating that day. Wonderful day at the office for Malik Willis. I know Carson is going to be excited and ready to break down that game along with other Packers news at 6 o'clock. And of course, the Tuck You In at Night, Mouthing Off with Mike, will return, as he'll have some AEW Dynamite to talk about on the nightcap, break down the show, what he liked, what he didn't like, the do's, the don'ts, things of that nature. He's had him a little bit of rest, so he's ready to go. And while you're at it, like, comment, and subscribe to the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel if you have not already. And check out some of the other shows that we have. Now, we've got a lot of sports. We've got some great baseball. We got some football. We got some basketball. We got your all-around sports news. But there's some stuff that we have that are not sports related. So I'm pretty sure we have something for everybody. So do us a favor and go getting through all the shows. Make sure you're watching everything and enjoy the shows. And speaking of shows, let's start this one. Unless you've been living under a rock, Shohei Ohtani became the very first 50-50 baseball player, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. He became that in his first year as a Los Angeles Dodger. He's a shoo-in for National League MVP, first designated hitter to ever do so with the regular season MVP. There have been some DHs that have won the World Series MVP, but not the regular season one. Shohei Ohtani asserted his dominance, and he's still counting, as in he has 53 home runs, 53 stolen bases as we speak right now. Could Shohei Ohtani be a 60-60 player? Could he be that? We don't know. This is the last week of all baseball heading into the postseason. Shohei Ohtani is having a Hall of Fame year, and more than likely will have a Hall of Fame career when it's all said and done. There's conversations of him being the GOAT, being the quintessential baseball player, being the greatest to ever play the game. All that can be said about Shohei Ohtani in his baseball career as we speak. Now, the 50-50 season is incredible because he's the only player to ever do it. But many people believe it's the greatest because Shohei Ohtani wasn't 100% healed from his injuries. Of course, he needs Tommy John surgery, which is why he's not pitched this year. So him not being 100% and still setting a record such as this says a lot about him as a baseball player. He's a designated hitter, so there are people out there that feel like he's not so deserving of the National League MVP. But looking at his numbers, how could you not do it? I understand that other players have to play other positions such as pitcher, outfield, first, second, third base, doesn't matter. But the fact that he has played incredible baseball, put up incredible numbers, there's no reason why you can't put him in. Why you can't consider him MVP. Why you can't look at him as one of the best baseball players of the modern era. What makes this so incredible to me is that Shohei Ohtani did this and did not have to take steroids in order to do it. Me growing up in the 90s, steroids and performance-enhancing drugs were used by baseball players, not just in baseball, but they were used everywhere at that time. But performance-enhancing drugs did alter and taint some statistics inside of the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, Major League Baseball record books. There can't be anything that hasn't been said that has been impacted by this era of baseball. So I'm very thankful to see that numbers and records can be broken without the use of performance-enhancing drugs, without players having to cheat in order to do this. There have been baseball rule changes over the years that have sped up the game, that have altered the game, and have made the game somewhat different. But Shohei Ohtani has been able to show that he can adapt to all of this and still make records, still put up incredible numbers, and be regarded as one of the greatest baseball players to ever do it, and do it in a clean way. Steroids are banned, finally, and the ban has gotten so strict, of course, with 3 strikes you're out, with the lifetime ban on the third offense, has been a way to abolish the steroid use in baseball. So I'm very thankful to live as a baseball fan and a time of watching baseball to see a player put up monumental numbers and not be suspected of cheating. That helps out tremendously. That brings back relevancy to the game. That makes the game better, makes the game cleaner, and keeps the players safe. So Shohei Ohtani, congratulations on being a good, clean baseball player. That is your baseball quick hit for this week. It makes me very happy to give you another boxing quick hit. Boxing is a sport that I love to cover, and it's a sport that I love to watch. And this match that went on this past Saturday was for the IBF World Heavyweight Championship, as Triple D, Danny Dubois, took on former two-time World Heavyweight Champion in Anthony Joshua. Coming into this match, Anthony Joshua was the overshadowed fighter. He was considered the favorite in this match, 34 years old, former champion. He's fought some very, very tough fighters. He's held all three heavyweight championships, WBO, WBC, IBF. He's held all of them. He's been a decorated champion. It looked like he was going to have the upper hand in this match against the now IBF champion. He was full-time after the belt was vacated. So Danny Dubois had the title. He was putting it up against a very, very seasoned competitor at Wembley Arena this past Saturday. And let me tell you, the result was shocking. Danny Dubois retained the title with a 5th round knockout. The match was a very one-sided fight, as Danny Dubois was able to land his right hand many times. The jab was set up the right hook, set up the right cross. He was able to pick apart that defense. Anthony Joshua looked like his defense was overshadowed with the combination punching that Danny Dubois possessed. Around the second round, he went down, and it was a very short-lived count. It was about 5. He got up around 5. As round 3 came about, you saw Dubois just picking him apart with that right hook. That left hook was very, very vital in taking down Anthony Joshua. There was some bright spots in Anthony Joshua, as there were times that he got up right before the round ended. He was able to carry on as much as he could, able to fight out of the clinch. It was a barrage of punching that Dubois was getting off. He let his hands go. He was connecting with many of his punches. Danny Dubois, who has a 95% punch to knockout ratio all time, was able to show why he's such a devastating puncher, why he's such a great finisher. He was able to finish the fight real well. And Anthony Joshua had trouble connecting with his left hand. He had trouble keeping the guard up, and Dubois was going from body to headshots. It was a tough day for Anthony Joshua, 34 years old. He's a seasoned vet, but he was outclassed by the younger guy, as Danny Dubois holds on to his IBF championship. It was a fight that didn't last as long as everyone thought it would be. It was a 10-round affair, lasting halfway through in the 5th round. Very devastating. The heavyweight division isn't the division that it used to be. It's not one of the most popular divisions in all of boxing. But for a boxing fan like myself, it was a good fight. If you like knockouts, if you like early rounders, this was a good fight. So of course it was devastating. A lot of hard hits, a lot of punches, it was a one-sided fight, but it was still a fight that I'd watch again for the highlights. Very good highlights. If you want to catch those on YouTube, they have the highlights up, but I watched the fight twice. I'm surprised by the result. I thought Joshua would put up a better fight. I didn't think that Dubois would win it in such the manner that he did. But that just tells you exactly what it is with the World Heavyweight Division. You don't know what you're going to get. So, once again, your boxing quick hit for the week. And now your football quick hit for this week. I decided to go this route where I'm talking about some quarterbacks who have saw some success after having some rough patches in their careers. We're all seeing Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, Malik Willis, all working up and being very, very good at the quarterback position when Malik Willis was low on the depth chart. Sam Darnold was shuffled around to a lot of teams and beat up and not doing very well at the quarterback spot. Justin Fields being considered the chosen guy in Chicago, considered being the starter, had some injuries, had some rough patches while with the Bears. And of course, I look at these three guys. Those are three guys that I look at. And then, of course, we go down to Carolina. Of course, I do a Carolina Panthers podcast called The Cat Cave every Wednesday on Tobacco Road Sports Radio's YouTube channel. Go give it a watch. So, of course, Bryce Young, we all see Bryce Young was benched this past week, and Andy Dalton assumed the starting role in Carolina and played a convincing game against the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot of Los Angeles teams like California teams, so you kind of get used to it, you know. So the Las Vegas Raiders, they ended up losing convincingly with Andy Dalton being the first player to throw 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns in one game this year. So as I look at the success of Justin Fields, Sam Darnold, and Malik Willis into these 3 games, and then I look at Bryce and what happened with him, it made me think a lot. What do all 3 of these quarterbacks have in common? All 3 of them went to teams that have not had a strong pedigree of winning. Sam Darnold going to the New York Jets. The Jets have not won significantly since, I would say, Mark Sanchez. Getting to the playoffs around that time with Mark Sanchez, that was about it. Mostly that defense did that work, and the running game did that work on that squad. Going to the New York Jets didn't have a pedigree of winning. Justin Fields going to Chicago. Chicago hasn't really had a strong winning pedigree. And Malik Willis going to Tennessee, where he had to sit behind Ryan Tannehill for a little while. Then Will Levis getting drafted. And it looks like there was no chance for him to get into the starting lineup. Then we look at Bryce Young being the number 1 pick. The Panthers trading away everything that they had in order to invest in this young man. And it left them with not really a lot of pieces to work with. This year, they had to settle for a 2nd-round pick. They couldn't build with free agency. They worked and spent some money this year, the Panthers did. But Bryce was having a lot of trouble getting blown out in the first 2 games. Andy Dalton comes in, and it is pretty much like snap. Andy Dalton gets the starting job in Carolina. It looks like Bryce will have to sit. Now, with all that being considered for all these 4 quarterbacks, they went to places that didn't have strong pedigrees for winning. So, of course, put them in situations where they do have a strong pedigree of winning. Justin Fields in Pittsburgh, Malik Willis in Green Bay. Minnesota's been okay. They actually have been building. They've got the best receiver in the game in Justin Jefferson. They've got a very potent offense. They have a very good line. So Sam Darnold has time to throw the ball. Andy Dalton has time to throw the ball. Andy Dalton is a proven player. Bryce Young was thrown out there and didn't get a chance to develop. He learned on the job. So we got to start looking at some of these players that we look at as busts and look at their situations, where they were put, where they thrusted in at a time where they should have learned. That's something that we got to take under consideration with these players. And that is your quick hits for football this week. Now, my basketball quick hit for this week is going to be for the WNBA as the playoffs have begun. Sunday was a great weekend, great day of basketball with all 8 teams going at each other right now. They're going to be separated as 2 will play Tuesday night and 2 will play Wednesday night. So it's going to be very, very interesting right now. So the WNBA playoffs are different than the NBA playoffs, as you've got 12 teams, got 8 teams going at it right now. You got 8 teams going at it. And these 8 teams will play a 3-5-5 format. So the first round will be 3 games and 5 games here on out. So we've got a stacked card of basketball right now with the Fever and the Sun going up against each other. The Connecticut Sun going to be going against the Indiana Fever. Then you've got the Atlanta Dream and the New York Liberty, with the Minnesota Lynx and the Phoenix Mercury and the Seattle Storm and the Las Vegas Aces, who were the winners of the WNBA Championship last year, and with unanimous MVP A'ja Wilson, who is the best women's basketball player on earth. I'd have to say she's the best women's basketball player, hands down. Got to be the best. So it's going to be hard going against her. But the way that I look at it, as the Fever and the Sun are going up against each other. Caitlin Clark had a fantastic year this year, as she was unanimous Rookie of the Year. But I think that her squad has her hands full with the Connecticut Sun. They played very, very good defense, very lockdown defense on Sunday. I don't see them winning that one. I'm going to say give me the Sun, the Liberty, and the Atlanta Dream. The New York Liberty is too strong. Breanna Stewart is playing some incredible basketball right now. She's a 2-time champion with the Seattle Storm. So I got to give her credit. But that's a very, very well put together basketball team in New York. So give me them over the Atlanta Dream. The Lynx and the Mercury are going to be very, very competitive. I like the Lynx, but the Mercury gave them a run for their money. Diana Taurasi is on her farewell tour. We don't know if it's going to be the end for her, but I think this year will probably be it. She hasn't made any inkling about retirement, but she's still going strong at 42 years old, playing some very good basketball. But I think the Lynx will do it, and I can't go against the unanimous MVP. I got the Aces beating the Seattle Storm. And as we go further into it, as we get to the semis with the Sun and the Liberty, give me the Liberty as they will win it, and go into the championship. And then the Aces will go up against Minnesota, the Lynx. The Lynx are going to play very, very good ball against the Aces. I think they match up better, especially in the post. That post battle is going to be epic for the Lynx and the Aces. But yet still, I got to go with A'ja. I got to go with the Aces. The 3-point shooting to her repertoire has been incredible. I think we're going to have that rematch for the championship. It'll be the New York Liberty and the Aces. I say give it to the Aces one more time, so they'll be back-to-back champions. A'ja Wilson will cap off another year where she's MVP and WNBA champion, as the Aces will do it. Let's see what you got. Hopefully you tell me what you guys want. I'm thinking the Aces are going to win it all. It's going to be a tough battle. They won't sweep them. They won't sweep everybody, especially in the semis. They will not sweep the Liberty. The Liberty are too tough, especially when it comes down to shooting the basketball. But with A'ja playing as tough as she is, Kelsey Plum, doing very, very well on the 3-point shooting end. I think the inside-outside game is going to be tough. The Aces, it's just hard. It's just hard going up against a player like A'ja Wilson. She's incredible. So give me the Aces to win it all for the WNBA and cap off another great season of women's basketball. And that is your basketball quick hits for this week. And that is our show, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in to Quick Hits episode number 12. Remember, tune in to Sideline Savants at 12 o'clock p.m. to watch my man, the commish, break down some fantasy football for you guys. Watch the Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast at 3 o'clock with Michael Davis. Watch the Lombardi Party at 6. And the nightcap at 11:10, 11:15, around that area. Now, guys, I'm looking to experiment with the show a little more. I know the show's been a little different. I've been longer in some episodes, but Quick Hits is pretty much, I make sure that I break down your quick hits in a matter of 5 minutes in between. But there's going to be some new things that I'll be doing with the show. Want to do this consistently. 12 episodes in, it's been a trial run. So I'm looking forward to doing some more stuff. Looking forward to adding a few things to the show, taking a few things out. Maybe it might be longer, it might not be. But looking forward to the changes. If there's anything that you would like to see on this show, do me a favor and let me know. I'd like to open it up a little more. There may be some things that I'll be trying to do, a little experimentation. But do me a favor, hit that like button. Still continue with the views. Get me back in the top 5. I ain't been in the top 5 in a minute. Been outshined, man. Guys been kicking my butts. So I can't do that. Can't do it. Can't allow it to happen. But regardless of that fact, guys, thank you so much for what you do for Boom Broadcasting. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for viewing. I'm Shannon Smith, and this is Quick Hits.
Can't fall off, now they holler he'll turn, thinking I'ma sell out, talking just to feel heard. I never listen, although they say it's strictly